5 positive points about collecting physical media from CEX stores, computer exchange in the United Kingdom. Today on the channel.
Number 1. Affordability. CEX offers second-hand DVDs and Blu-rays at significantly lower prices than buying new, making it a budget-friendly way to build or expand your movie collection.
Okay, so let's expand on affordability from CEX. So you can find films at much discounted prices, certainly the second-hand market. However, I would say pick and choose, because sometimes you can actually find that second-hand products in CEX can often be more expensive than brand new, so it is worth just checking that out. There is the advantage that you can go in store and browse the shelves like we used to with HMV and the like. So, but you can obviously be spontaneous in picking things up.
Point number 2. Wide selection. CEX stores typically stock a diverse range of titles, from mainstream blockbusters to cult classics and hard to find films, which can be a treasure trove for movie collectors.
Point number 2, let's go into it in a bit more detail about a wide selection. So depending on your location, depending on the size of the store, they may have a large sort of store with a lot of stock. Where I live, there's a couple of stores, one sort of having a bit more smaller stock than the other, although you will find a lot of DVDs within these stores, far more than Blu-ray, and even sort of less 4K.
3. In-store browsing experience. Visiting a physical store allows for spontaneous discovery. You can stumble upon titles you might not have searched for online, adding an enjoyable tactile element to the hunt.
So you do have the experience of being able to go in and maybe sort of find titles by browsing the store that you weren't necessarily sort of thinking about. It's that hunt, looking for stuff, finding a treasure trove of things that you weren't aware of. That's what I think a lot of us do miss as collectors of physical media, that we that experience is gone on the online. You can look through pages and pages of online stores, but it's not quite the same as sort of going into the store and browsing.
Point number 4. Trading options. You can trade in your old movies for store credit or cash, making it easy to refresh your collection regularly while saving money.
So following on point number 4, trading. This is a really good thing about CEX, that you can take films in that you no longer want. Rather than trying to sell them on eBay, you can take them into the CEX store and get like either a trade-in value as a voucher or for cash. Typically though, with the cash option, it is always less money, and I would suggest always sort of have a look at your alternatives. So look at eBay, look at Vinted, see if you could achieve, looking at sold prices, a better price by selling it privately. But if you're quite interested in just getting a voucher to be able to sort of buy more titles from CEX, especially for those sort of lesser known titles that, or more commonly sort of available titles with a lesser value, which you probably wouldn't really get anything for on online selling platforms, then it's a good opportunity to be able to take your stock in, even if you just say get £1 for it, or 50p maybe. it's all subjective, isn't it? I do think the sort of penny that you'd get for DVDs and even now some Blu-rays is a bit of a cheek. Um, you know, you might as well just try and either give them to a charity shop, or maybe try and sell them as bundles on eBay or Vinted. That's another option. So there are pros and cons for the trade-in option through CEX.
Finally, point number 5, quality assurance. CEX checks and grades all items before resale. Discs are typically refurbished and guaranteed to work, and they offer a 2-year warranty on most products for extra peace of mind.
And this last point about their sort of quality assurance. Now, this one, whilst I guess you are getting that 2-year guarantee that they say, and you can take an item back, you know, if it doesn't play, you've got issues with it. I will say that I'm not 100% sure on the sort of quality checks that some of these stores are doing. Now, typically the CEX is a franchise model, so they are sort of depending on, they obviously follow the CEX guidelines, but I guess they have their own individual sort of checks that they do, and I think maybe some stores are better than others at this. Um, so yeah, I do think a grading system would be a good idea for CEX, but yeah, it's a bit of a hit and miss this one. Whilst they are saying officially you will get sort of a 2-year guarantee, quality assurance, things are checked, I'm not always sure that's necessarily the case with all CEX physical media. Certainly when you take the products in, they will look at these discs, and if they feel there's even just 1 or 2 scratches, they might not accept it. However, when you go into the store and you go to buy a film and there are scratches on it, there are dents on it, it kind of makes you think, well, have you really checked this item properly in the first place when you were bringing it in? Was it a member of staff who was inexperienced, didn't know the sort of full process, and has accepted an item which now on resale is a bit unacceptable? So whilst there are positives for this, I would sort of err on the side of caution as well. Certainly buying items online, if you're buying steelbooks, I think there should be a grading system, sort of the sort of level of quality of the product. Is it dented? Is it scratched? Is it chipped? The website doesn't give you this, so you are taking a bit of a potluck with the online experience. But yeah, on the whole, quality assurance is given in store. So what are your experiences of CEX? Tried to give a positive look to this. I did do a video about the sort of negatives. This is largely about the positives. Yeah, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts down in the comments as to what you think of these points. I'll also leave a link to the other video which sort of focuses on the negatives. So go and check that out if you haven't already.